1,000 or 30,000. Did you know that your life can change just because you believed it had already changed? It may sound crazy, but what if the key is not what you do, but how you feel about it? What if the secret is not in the circumstances, but in its internal state? What if I told you that life begins to change the exact moment you decide to act as if everything always goes well? It seems exaggerated, right? Naive even. 2 on 40,000, 0 or 1, 10,000. But stop and think. How many times have you stopped trying just because you believed, before even starting, that it would go wrong? Who taught you to expect the worst? Who convinced you that caution is safer than hope? The truth is that our whole body responds to what the mind believes. Posture, energy, words, decisions, everything changes when you believe that you are playing to win. It is not about illusion. It is not denying the risks, nor pretending that pain does not exist. 3001 20,000. 001 50,000. It is choosing to act despite fear. It is to wear confidence as if it were an armor, even when it is still being built from the inside. Have you ever noticed how some people enter a room and seem to dominate the environment without saying a word? It is not luck. It is presence. It is faith in themselves. It is this silent faith that turns doubts into results. Order 2,000, euros 30,000. And now I ask you, what if you started your day already sure that everything will conspire in your favor? What if you treated every obstacle as part of the way, not as proof that you should stop? What would your life be like if you acted every day as if success was inevitable? Think about it. Have you ever heard the phrase, see to believe? It is. But what happens when you only begin to see after you start to believe? The truth is that all reality was, one day, just an idea, a bold belief. 5002 40,000, 003 10,000, an insistent thought that refused to disappear. The plane flies because someone believed it could fly, even when all the facts said otherwise. And you? What have you failed to believe just because you still can't see? Belief comes first. Always. It is she who moves you when everything around seems to say no. It is she who makes you get out of bed when doubt wants to hold you in the pillow. 6 0003 20,000, 0003 50,000. Just think, how many opportunities did you miss, not because you couldn't, but because you didn't believe enough? Fear is convincing. He shows you 1,000 reasons not to try. But faith has only one reason, and it is enough, because you have chosen to believe. And here's a secret, the whole world responds to your energy. You attract what is ready to receive. 7 under 4 calendars, euro for $30,000. But how to receive something that you do not believe you deserve? So I ask again, what if today you decided to believe first, even without guarantees, even without signs, and let reality run behind your faith? It's not enough to dream. You have to commit. And commitment is not what you do when you're motivated. It is what you keep even when the will disappears. 8 304 40,000, euro 5 10,000. How many times have you started something with all enthusiasm, but stopped at the first stumble, in the first silence, in the first criticism? Without purpose, effort becomes weight. Without direction, any obstacle seems a sign that it is better to give up. Now tell me, do you know why you do what you do? Or are you just repeating goals that are not yours, trying to achieve dreams that do not belong to you? Purpose is not what impresses others. It's what burns inside you. 905 20,000, 005 $50,000. It is the reason why you persist, even when no one is looking. It is the why that sustains all your comos. And the commitment? Commitment is the silent pact you make with your own soul. It's you looking in the mirror and saying, I won't stop, because it matters to me. No matter how long it takes, no matter who doubts, when there is purpose, time becomes an ally. And when there is commitment, failure becomes part of the path, not the end of it. 10 Unr 06 and 1,000, 06 30,000. So I ask you, are you really committed or just interested? Are you looking for a shortcut, or are you willing to go through the whole journey? Because the truth is one, without purpose, you stop. But with purpose, you fly, even with hurt wings. You talk to yourself every day, have you noticed? Yes, that voice in there, she does not shut up. She comments everything, all the time. 11, 0, 06, 40,000. 0, 7, 10,000. And the question is, what has she told you? Does she support you or sabotage you? Does she encourage you or sink you? Many people think that daily affirmations are just cute phrases said in front of the mirror. But they are not. They are codes, words often, messages that repeated redraw their identity. Because everything you repeat becomes belief, and everything you believe shapes your reality. You say, I can, and your body responds. You say, I am enough, and your posture changes. 12, Surreal. 07, 20,000. 0, 07, 50,000. You say, I am strong, and something within you awakens. But, and if you repeat day after day, I am anxious, I am a failure, nothing works for me. What has your subconscious been listening to and obeying? Affirmations are not magic, they are reprogramming. It's you taking command of the inner narrative. It's like tuning an instrument that has long been playing only notes of insecurity. 13, or 8, $1,000, or 8, 30,000. So I ask you, what words are you using to build yourself? What if you chose from today to feed your mind with phrases that elevate you, instead of limiting you? Maybe at first it seems strange, even false. But what if it's not a lie, and if you just need to repeat until you believe? Personal transformation does not happen suddenly. It happens slowly, almost imperceptible, like a seed growing in silence under the ground while the world thinks nothing is happening. 14, 8, 40,000, 9, 10,000. But inside, everything is changing. Have you ever felt like this? As if you were fighting every day without seeing any result? As if you were stuck in the same version of yourself, even trying so hard to change? Perhaps it is because you still expect a visible transformation, when in fact the real transformation begins where no one sees. It is in thought that you decide to fight, in the choice that you make in silence, in the impulse that you hold, in the word that you choose not to say. 15 or 09, 20,000. Year 09, 50,000. In the courage to act, even trembling inside. And then one day, without warning, something inside you clicks, and you realize you are no longer the same person. That voice that said you can't, now it's just a distant echo. That fear that held you back is now just another obstacle to overcome. But there is a detail. The transformation does not happen only with desire. It requires practice, consistency, and above all, patience. 16 or 10, 1,000. Large 10, 30,000. Are you willing to be patient with your own evolution? Are you ready to give yourself the time you need, even if no one around understands the process? Because transforming is not becoming someone else. It is finally becoming who you have always been. Fear is a talented artist. He paints scenarios so real that you swear that danger is in front of you. But it's not. It's just in your mind. 17, 10, 40,000. 11, 10,000. How many things have you stopped living for fear of failure? How many versions of you were trapped by fear of judgment? How many dreams did you shelve for fear of finding out that you might be too capable? Fear is subtle. It does not scream. It whispers. 18 under 11 to 20,000. 11, 50,000. What if it doesn't work? What if you overexpose yourself? What if you get rejected? What if I laugh at you? But what if it works? What if it's exactly what you needed to live? What if fear is just a test to see if you're really ready to grow up? There is one thing that nobody tells. Fear does not go away. It only loses strength when you decide to go anyway. Courage has never been absence of fear. It was the choice to go in fear anyway. Durzar 12,000, 12 30s. Can you remember the last time you outdid yourself? Maybe it was a small step, almost invisible, but you felt something in you expanded. And that's how you conquer fear. Not in a grand battle, but in a series of small acts of boldness. So the next time fear appears, don't treat it as an enemy. Treat it as a portal, because behind it is exactly what you want to live. Mental discipline. 2 simple words, but they carry a power that most underestimate. The mind is like a fertile land. 21 or 12, 40,000. 0, 13, 10,000. Everything you plant there grows, and the question is, are you growing flowers or weeds? Loose thoughts seem harmless, but every unfought distraction, every negative belief fed, every excuse you accept, is like an invisible thread pulling you away from who you want to become. Have you ever found yourself believing in thoughts that diminish you? Have you ever noticed how a whole day can be affected by a phrase that you say to yourself just as you wake up? The mind is a powerful tool. 21, 0, 13, 20,000. 00, 13, 50,000. But if you don't train her, she trains you, drags you, sabotages you, and makes you think it's the same, that there is no way, that you can't change, but gives. It all starts with a choice, not to believe everything you think. Observe your own thoughts. Choose which thoughts deserve space and which need to be dissolved. Mental discipline is not rigidity, it is presence, it's attention. Is you realize when you're about to sabotage yourself and choose another path. 22, 13, 14, 13,000. 2.14, 30,000. Is you say, I'm not that thought, I'm the one who chooses what to do with it. Is it easy? No, but it's possible, and it's liberating. So tell me, if you don't train your mind, who will do that for you? Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you living the life of your dreams, feeling proud of who you have become, walking with confidence, thankful for the reality that was once just an image in your mind. Can you see? Visualization is that. 23, euro 14, 40,000, euro 15, $10,000. It's you visiting the future before you get there. It's building a bridge between what is and what can be. It's training your brain to believe before it even happens. But there is a detail that no one told you. The brain does not distinguish imagination from reality. If you see yourself winning, if you feel the victory, he believes, and begins to work in your favor. Body, mind, emotions, decisions, everything begins to align with that internal image. 24. 15, 20,000. 15, 50,000. Now think with me. If you live imagining that will go wrong, that will fail, that is not able, what are you teaching your brain? You are shaping your tomorrow with the fears of your yesterday. The question is, what if, instead of visualizing catastrophes, you start to visualize victories? And it doesn't have to be grand. Visualize the details, the feeling of waking up with peace, the smile of someone you love, you signing that contract, you looking in the mirror and thinking, I got it. 25, or 16, or 1,000, or 16 to $30,000. Because everything that is created in the external world is born first in the internal world. So tell me, what are you choosing to imagine today? And if it were enough to believe in taking the first step? Have you ever noticed how sometimes we believe in something, but our acts tell a different story? As if we say one thing to the world, but do another in silence. True belief is revealed in action. 26, or 16, 40,000. Euro, 17, 10,000. You can repeat 1,000 times that it will work, but if you do nothing, the mind begins to doubt. Because action is the link between dream and reality. It is the movement that transforms intention into experience. But not all action serves. Action without purpose, without connection with your belief, is like rowing against the current. Tired, demotivated, misaligned. Therefore, acting in line with your belief is acting with focus, with clear intent. 27 for 17, 20,000. 17, 50,000. It is choosing steps that lead towards what you really want. Have you ever felt the power to do something that deep down you knew was right, as if your whole body and mind were in tune? This is the kind of action that builds, that edifies, that transforms. But when fear whispers not to act, when doubt tries to paralyze, then the belief must be stronger, more firm, and action, even small, must happen. Because to act, even in fear, is to say to the universe, I believe, I trust, I am ready. 28, 0, 18,000. 0, 18, 30,000. So what are you going to do now? What will be your next step? Challenges, they come, they always come. But the question is, what do you do when they arrive? Do you back off? Do you give up? Or do you find a way to move forward, even when everything seems to conspire against it? Resilience is not magic. It's not something that comes out of nowhere. It's a muscle. It's strength built day after day, step by step. 29, 0, 18, 40,000, 0, 19, 10,000. Have you ever had moments when you thought you couldn't keep going? That the pressure was too much? That the world was against you? And yet here you are, still breathing, still trying. This is resilience. But do you know what the secret is? It's not to be strong all the time. It's to know how to fall, to know how to get up, to know how to ask for help, to know how to forgive. Resilience is a dance between resistance and adaptation. It's learning from falls and using each scar as a step. 30, 0, 19 to 20,000, 0, 19 to 50,000, because each challenge won makes you more capable, wiser, more prepared. And when you feel yourself about to give up, ask yourself, will this define who I am, or will I use it to reinvent myself? The choice is in your hands, and the story you tell yourself, it's what will determine how far you get. 31, Sakuro, 20, in $1,000. Zerpo, 20, $30,000. Are you ready to turn your challenges into fuel for your success? Have you noticed how your mood can change the environment around you? How a simple attitude of yours can light a flame in other people, or, on the contrary, extinguish their brightness? The influence you exert is not only on yourself, it reverberates in small gestures, in words, in looks. When you choose to believe that everything will work out, this optimism is a gift to those who are close. 32, Virgo 20, 40,000, Virgo 21, 10,000. It's like a wave that spreads, motivates, transforms. But what if you carry doubt, fear, or pessimism? Is it sowing the same energies around you? The good news is, you have the power to choose which atmosphere you want to create. You can be the guiding beacon, the presence that calms, the energy that inspires. Imagine if everyone around you started to act with this mindset. 33, Bird 21, 20,000, 0, 21, 50,000. What could happen? What kind of environment would be created? And what doors would that open for you? Positive influence is not something you conquer from one moment to the next. It is built day after day, with conscious choices, with the discipline of maintaining faith, even when the world seems to collapse. 34, Zar, 22, 9,000, Zar, 22, 30,000. Are you ready to be that transforming force? To change not only your world, but the world around you? Self-confidence, this word that seems so simple but carries the power to change everything. Have you ever felt that moment when you know, deep down, that you can win? That you are able to face any challenge? This feeling is not born out of nothing. It is built, brick by brick, with every choice you make. 35, 22, 40,000, 23, 10,000. Every time you act believing in yourself, every time you overcome a fear, every time you keep the focus, even when the doubt appears, your self-confidence grows. But when it swings, when the inner voice of "I'm not able" tries to take over, that's where mental discipline comes back into play. It is the daily commitment to your beliefs, with its purpose. It is remember that you have overcome before, that this insecurity is only a passing shadow. Sekiro 23, 20,000, 0, 23, $50,000. Self-confidence is not the absence of fear, but the courage to move forward despite it. Then tell me, are you ready to strengthen this trust that already exists within you? To become the boldest and firmer version of yourself? Because the way is there, and with each step, you get closer to your true potential. 37, or 24 flower than to 24,000. And now you tell me, what part of this text spoke directly to you? At what point did you feel that he was describing exactly what lives inside? Have you been feeding fear or faith? Are you waiting for evidence or have already decided to believe first? If this touched you in some way, please share it with someone who needs to hear it today and comment below which was the most impacting you. Because sometimes a simple sentence can turn the key to our story. I'll see you in the next video.